Well, time for another update already. I guess when I made the last one, like 3 days ago, I didn't really have time to talk about as many as I thought I would. I was a little long-winded, but that happens with me. But and then I have been watching a lot of movies lately, so I have like 10 titles to talk about this time. But only about only DVDs, no Blu-rays this time. I don't think. No. But anyway, let's just get started. First is a movie called, you have the English title here on the disc, King of Devil's Island, which is a Norwegian movie. Stars Stellan Skarsgård here it says, but he's actually a Swedish actor. But I have seen this one before, but after I saw it, I liked it, but I had heard really good things about it, and afterwards I kept hearing good things about it, and I was like, man, is there something that I missed about it? Because I don't know, I just felt like there must have been something that I missed because I didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't really see how the movie was that good. So I wanted to see it again, and I did so last night. But I have to say that I still can't really. Well, it's a good movie, or pretty good movie. I enjoyed watching it a second time, so obviously it's not bad. But um, there's just I really can't get into it for some reason. The visuals look good. It does kind of get to you emotionally, but there is some obstacle in the way for me anyway, and I don't know what that is exactly. It might be the characters that I can't really sympathize with too much. The actors, their acting might not get to me. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I think it might be that. I don't know for sure, but it is a good movie, and yeah, I don't think I want to say I'll check it out again to see, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. But it's not bad. Um, but I definitely can see why people would like this a lot. It's just that I'm not one of those people, I guess. But it is still definitely not bad. This one I also watched. Well, actually, started it 2 days ago, and then I never finished it that day. So I finished it yesterday. But anyway, it's Cousins, which is a fairly corny romantic comedy with Ted Danson and Isabella Rossellini here as the romantic center, or uh, as the yeah, well, you know what I mean. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't really dislike this one. It was fine. I really got into it for some reason. It's not great. It is a pretty generic and mediocre romantic comedy, as so many others. But there's something about it which I definitely enjoyed. Um, yeah, and it has a Lloyd Bridges in this too, and he's always good. I like him a lot. So yeah, Cousins. Then we have Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm not a big fan of these 80s kind of cheesy slasher movies. Um, well, I guess I'm not really a fan of slashers in general, but except for Black Christmas, I don't think I have seen any horror Christmas movies. So, and this one I had heard really good things about, or well, I had at least heard that it is a bit of a classic. Um, and but since I know that I don't usually enjoy these types of movies, I didn't expect to enjoy this one either, and I didn't really. Some scenes were kind of fun, um, but overall, it's really not my thing. So yeah, Then we have another horror movie, or a Western horror movie, The Brewers. Um, this is the best American horror film. All right. Um, it's yeah, it is a pretty interesting movie. Looks fairly low budget, but it's not bad. It's a little I don't know if repetitive is the right word, but it's like they maybe could have done a little more with it. But it's definitely a fun movie, fairly suspenseful, and yeah, kind of supernatural horror-ish, creatures in the ground, and you don't know exactly what it is until later on. And I feel that suspense is done fairly well. But I also feel like they were trying to do some sort of open ending, ambiguous thing in the end, which to me didn't really work. I didn't really get what they were trying to do in the ending. I was like, why did they end it like that? I mean, it didn't really work for me personally. But it's not bad. I realized that in this update there are not too many movies which I really liked. But anyway, next one is My Five Wives with Rodney Dangerfield. Andrew Dice Clay is in the Andrew Dice Clay is in it. Molly Shannon, not quite sure who that is. Jerry Stiller, I believe I bought this because of Jerry Stiller. Well, partly also because of Rodney Dangerfield, but I was browsing his filmography on IMDb, and I came across this one, and I was like, oh, Jerry Stiller and Rodney Dangerfield, sounds fun. So that's why I bought it. But Jerry Stiller is not in this movie very much. It's like 5 minutes approximately. A little bit, like 20 seconds in the middle of the movie, then he comes back in the ending for a few minutes or so. This is a very, very dumb, cheesy kind of B comedy or whatever, kind of bad quality of the movie. I mean, of the video quality and stuff. And it's obviously not a great comedy or a good movie for that matter, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's written by Rodney Dangerfield, and in the movie he has these 5 really, young and sexy wives, and it feels like he was, very late in his career. He wrote this as a very generous compliment to himself, but anyway, whatever. It's still fun. Very cheap DVD. You can see the disc here. And the menu is it's just a picture, a very, it looks like just a screenshot they've taken directly from the movie or something, and it says just like in yellow text in the in the bottom, play movie, and that's it. So definitely the definition of bare bones here, but yeah, it's fun. I mean, Rodney Dangerfield, he's not a very good actor, is he? But at least not in this one. This one is from 2000, by the way, and he died only a few years later, or a couple years later. I don't know if it's his last movie, but it's definitely a movie late in his career. He didn't really do that many movies, though. I realized that when I looked through his filmography on IMDb. He hasn't done many movies in general, or overall. But anyway, there was something else I was gonna say about it. I just had it, and then I forgot it. Oh yeah, maybe that makes, maybe it's no surprise if you know Rodney Dangerfield, but in the movie he sort of incorporates his very characteristic comedy, or kind of like his puns or play on words that he does all the time. When he approaches certain things which to him or to his character is humorous, he does these puns about the situation. And he almost kind of incorporates his stand-up comedy in the movie too, in some of his semi-monologues or whatever. But anyway, it is bad, sure, but I enjoyed it. So sometimes I feel that doesn't make any sense. I really enjoyed and liked the movie actually, but I gave it a bad rating because it's a pretty crappy movie. So I don't know. Anyway, then we have a movie pretty similar to what I just said. I really kind of enjoyed it, but looking back at it, it's not a good movie, I think. But it's Splice with Adrien Brody. Yeah, it's definitely kind of it's fun. Oh, there's nudity here, I see now. Whatever, doesn't matter. It's very corny and kind of it's a stupid movie. The plot is, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's I enjoyed watching it. It's kind of like you can turn off your brain a little bit. When I watch the special features, it's clear that that's not what they intended. you know, turn off your brain type of movie, but I don't really get much more out of this than just enjoyment or pure entertainment. So it's yeah, it was fun. Then we have a movie which is a major classic by Federico Fellini, which I really have to watch again, but I don't know, I thought I would like it more. Anyway, it's Knights of Caribbean, or Kiberia. I always, ever since I bought it, and ever since I found out about it, I've never been able to remember if it's Kiberia or Caribia, but it's Kiberia, and it's Gietta Massina's character in the movie. That's her name, and it's about her. She's a prostitute, and she can't seem to get things going for her, or I mean, you know, what's the fucking expression? I don't know. She can't. Well, she always runs into trouble, or she whatever. I can't think of the proper way of putting it, but I don't know what to say about it. I just really hope that I would like it more. I didn't. I don't know. Gietta Massina is great, but there wasn't much in the movie that I was able to enjoy or appreciate that much. So I don't know. It's one that I'm gonna need to watch again. I did like the other Fellini movie with her in it, La Strada, but this one I had problems getting into. But anyway, I'll revisit it someday. Then we have a movie by Mike Leigh called Happy Go Lucky, which I really enjoyed for the most part. Yeah, it's a good movie with Sally Hawkins. She does a great performance, and Eddie Marsan is in this. Although all scenes he's in almost are in a taxi, but he actually plays Sally Hawkins, or taxi, not a taxi. He plays Sally Hawkins' driving instructor, so it's in a car, not a taxi. But you know. But this is yeah, it's about Sally Hawkins. Sally Hawkins, she is a very happy-go-lucky character, so hence the title. But that probably makes sense anyway. But yeah, a very happy-go-lucky movie. But there's also some seriousness to it, like towards the ending in particular, and I really enjoyed it, I have to say. So then the last movie before I'm gonna talk about two music DVDs for a little bit. This is Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, and I actually bought this one. I can check on a website when I added it to my collection, and it was in September 2012 or something, and it's just been chilling over there by my TV for over a year. I haven't been feeling like watching it until now for some reason. And it was fun. I mean, it started. I felt that it started out pretty good, but eventually, especially towards the ending, it turns into it turns into a style over substance movie, I think. But you know, that, I mean, in a way, it feels contradictory, because the visuals in a movie, they're one of the things that I look for the most, and this one has some great visuals, horror visuals and creepy stuff going on. But I don't know, it just kind of feels like Rob Zombie indulged a bit too much in his horror fantasies or whatever, and it feels like he hasn't really bothered to kill his darlings in this one. He just left every little cool scene in there, and it's just a little too much, a little over the top in a way. And I don't know, he probably knew what he was doing, but to me it doesn't really work. The movie loses most of its effect because of all of this. I don't know, and some scenes were just kind of out of place. But the movie really is like walking in a haunted house. You know, various scares comes at you from everywhere, and again, especially in the ending, and bizarre and weird things, elements, they're just all over the movie. But I don't know, it was not bad. let's see. You know what? I'm not gonna talk about the 2 music DVDs. I just said that I would, but I only have 1 minute left before the camera will turn off, and so I'm gonna save those for the next update. I actually had those last update too. I just didn't have time to talk about those last time, and now I didn't have time to talk about them this time either. I guess it's because they're not movies, they're music documentaries. I don't prioritize them, but I'll talk about them later on. So, but that's the update for this time. It's gonna take a little longer until the next one now, because I only have 2 titles right now. Last time I had 6. Anyway, that's it. As always, thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you think of these movies. No masterpieces this time for me personally, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.